The following program is rated D for dumb. The following non-nominated, non-award-winning program is rated D for dumb.
Hello everybody, Dave Canyon here. Welcome to the dumbcast. Dumbcast in a carcast in a podcast. 3 shows in one. Dumbing it down with Dave. I am your one and only solo podcast host, Dave Canyon. As I do this podcast, this dumbcast, this carcast, all 3 at the same time in my car during my commute to and from work. And right now it's 2. And also, extra special, today is my first day back from vacation. And there's a lot to talk about, of course. And I think it's been about 2 weeks since my last podcast. So there's so much going on. I am in my Kia Rio 2008 Kia Rio LX. That is, part of the show is that I've been commuting in this car at this job that I have as a truck driver, a nighttime doubles truck driver for the last almost 8 years. I think April, I've been saying 7.5, but I think it's either April or May. I can easily check, but I'm not going to do it during the show, which is 8 years. So here we are. We're at the end of February of 2021. It is the 24th of February. It's 2:50 p.m. I'm running a little bit late for work, but that's okay because we don't really have a punch clock. I do punch into a clock, but nobody's really monitoring my lateness. I think I could have been there at 2 p.m. if I wanted to. I wanted to be there at 3, but I definitely did not prepare. A big part of my vacation was trying to get my life together so I could be better prepared. I didn't really accomplish that, but we'll talk about that. I'll give myself a grade, I think. My car is acting up a little bit. It's due for inspection. I do have a check engine light. I have a bit of a vibration. I just pulled over before I started the show because I didn't want to interrupt the show and inspect the vibration. I know I have, I think the wheels just got rotated. I think they did, and I think I have an oil change in here. You know what? I really do not do a very good job of keeping up with when I do it. I mean, I do things, but I don't often keep up with when I do it. And then I'm always confused as when did I do it last? And then there's this whole research project to find the paperwork or make the phone calls, because I have learned in the last couple of weeks, and this is probably no surprise to you, I have learned in the last couple of weeks that I am, wait for it, I am out of control. That's it. That should be the name of the show. I am out of control. But I also think I'm going to call it I'm back from vacation, or vacation's over, or how was my vacation, or what I learned during my 10-day vacation. There's all these alternative titles. So maybe I'll make a list if I have the time. I think I've done that 1 or 2 shows earlier where I put down alternative titles. And I really should just be using all those alternative titles like in my Twitter account and see so many things I should be doing. Creating polls and doing more better Instagram and more better Tumblr and more better Facebook and my website and this podcast and my car and my health and my house and my job and man, it's just, and my future and my finances, my retirement, maybe my dad, but I don't know. I think I've pretty much maxed that out to its fullest. And I really don't know if I want to exert any more energy into that relationship. I definitely don't think I want to exert any more of the show into that relationship unless it's absolutely necessary. But anyway, we are in the Kia Rio. We are northbound. And let me just give you a quick mileage report. The mileage report is, ready for it? 2008 Kia Rio LX, the Dave Canyon, Dumbing It Down with Dave, Porta Potty. P-O-R-T-A-P-O-D-D-Y. Does that sound English to you? Does it sound British? Somebody thinks so. So anyway, and by the way, thank you, speaking of somebody, thank you to Linda Irwin from Awesome Insanity Surfers for providing what little intro I have in the show right now, which is the voice of Harry, introducing the show as Rated D for Dumb. And we are award non-nominated and we are award non-winning show. Everybody likes to say, oh, my show is award-winning, or this is award-winning, J.D. Powers, or whatever ridiculous award that most of these people and places and companies just award themselves. I should create a podcast foundation and just reward myself, the Podcast Foundation Award of Excellence, the Northeast Podcasters Foundation Award of Excellence, the Carcast Association, Carcasters of America, the Dumbcasters of America. See, there you go. Now I know. If I do Dumbcasters of America, you know that's me. There's no Dumbcasters of America. But I could do that. Why not? Everybody else seems to be doing some sort of phony baloney. Why don't I get involved in some sort of phony baloney? All right, the mileage report is today, what's today? February 24th at now 2:54 p.m. It is 292,014 miles. Yes, 200, you heard me right. A 2008, a 12-year-old Kia Rio has 292,014 miles. Other than this little vibration, which seems to have gone away, could have been that the snow melted. I've had this happen before in this car once or twice, and I've had it during the podcast, and I actually have had it, mostly I think during the snow season, where snow gets in the wheel, throws everything off balance. So apparently I have flung the snow out of my wheel. It's melted or whatever it's done, and there you go. So that's me not being prepared for today's drive. I let my Kia sit there for basically the entire vacation. I came home. It snowed a couple of times. I missed like 2 or 3 storms. I'm very happy about that. That's really like the A+. I really should have broken down. See, again, not prepared, out of control. I don't have enough time. I don't have anybody on my team. I have nobody to talk to about this. And even when I do, it doesn't occur to me until I'm in the car, like right now. But I should have like broken down my vacation into different categories. Okay. Missing storms. All right. I think I missed 2 or 3 of them. A+. A++ extra credit. Because I did, in fact, and I posted these pictures, I think I did on the Dumbing It Down with Dave Facebook group. If not, I'll try to remember and look back, and I will post pictures. They're probably posted in the Dave's Fit Life Facebook group. So if you want to see any pictures, I should be posting them. I haven't done a blog in a long time. That's also, see, D. I give myself a D. Keeping up on my blog on my website, D+, D-. What's better? D+? So D-. E, E would be excellent, right? So F, A, B, C, D, E, E, F for failure. D for not degenerate. Well, okay, degenerate. For D for not desecration. For not dedicated. There's a word I want. D, like ignored or not done. D. But F for failure. I did not do a blog. I had 10 days to do a blog. Should have done 10 blogs. Okay, that's a lot. So maybe 1 blog, 2 blogs. Absolutely. Didn't do it. Could have written about my storm, about my vacation. Could have made journal entries. I didn't do any journal entries this week. Dave, you keep a journal? Well, that's a long story. We don't have to get into it now, but I've had, I think I'm on my 2nd journal book, but that's about 20 years of trying to journal, and then I never really get to it. I have a lot of good pages. I have a lot of fulfilled pages. A lot of the script is hard to read. It's kind of like the scroll, whatever, the rock that they found with the ancient writings, the Rock of Gibraltar or whatever the other thing that people can't decipher. The thing that they found on the Curse of Oak Island. Any of you also, unfortunately, watching this reality show on whatever channel I'm watching it on, probably Discovery. Yeah, the Curse of Oak Island. Trying to decipher this idiotic tablet. So anyway, I have a journal. I think I'm on my 2nd book. I do enjoy journaling when I enjoy journaling, and usually when I'm exhausted, sleep deprived, brain degraded, I do not enjoy journaling. And very often, many of my entries are me starting saying, hello, this is Dave. I'm in my truck. I'm backed into a dock here at, and then you see a pen mark go, I just kind of fall asleep while I'm writing. I have a lot of 1-sentence and 2-sentence journal entries. Pretty pathetic. Dave, why don't you do it when you get home? I can't because I got to go to sleep. Dave, why don't you do it when you wake up? Because I don't want to. When I wake up, I got to get going. I don't have time. Dave, why don't you do it when you pull over in your truck? I can't because I just don't have the time, and I still don't have the energy. Well, that's what I was doing when I was at a dock somewhere, at a stop. I would, back into a dock, and I'd fall asleep. So journaling for me is very difficult. Dave, why don't you quit your job? Yeah, I might. I'm looking into it. I'm looking for the possibilities. But you know what? At 57, 58 this August, and I've been here almost 8 years, do I really want to start over? Is that really what I want to do? Do I really want to go somewhere else and be at the bottom of the vacation list and give up vacation time? I think I'm at 3 or 4 weeks now. Am I talking too fast for you? Is this headset working? These are really not my Apple headsets. I think 2 of my, or all of my Apple headsets are no longer working properly. So I've decided to, I ordered these a while ago, and I think these are knockoffs. So I don't know what they sound like, but I will say this. I don't know if you noticed, but my voice is not exactly scratchy. This is really more of what my voice is. I don't know if these headphones are really picking it up properly, but this is more of my voice. It's a little bit deeper. It's definitely not scratchy today. I mean, there's hints of it, but maybe vacation is good for me. All right, let's do voice control, voice repair. I give myself an A+. Let's do an A. A+ is a lot. I don't think I'm A+. I have been doing deep breathing exercises, although during the vacation, not as much. Definitely some. My blood pressure is definitely still down, by the way. For those of you who might, I don't know if I talked about it on the show, but I did pass my DOT inspection where the big thing was blood pressure. So the DOT passing blood pressure I think is 140/90. The government regulates, if you want to be an Olympic athlete, they want you to be at 120/80. I don't think I'm seeing 120/80. I think I'm seeing like 130s in near the 80s. Like I have done 130/86 or 136/76 like that. I have done that. So I've been close, and I'm getting there. I'm going to keep on doing my deep breathing exercises. I'm going to keep on eating beets and dark chocolate and all the things that I've been reading about, all the potassium stuff, bananas, all these things that are supposedly, and walk, by the way, walk. Try walking. If you can't eat any of those foods, walk. Just walk. 1 foot in front of the other. How far do you walk, Dave? You walk as far as you can. Walk a half a mile. Walk 10 minutes. Walk to the mailbox. Walk to a telephone pole. When you get there, walk to the next telephone pole. Figure out how far you can walk, because remember, wherever you walk, you probably got to walk back unless you're in a circle. Or even if you're in a circle, you got to walk back. So walking, that's the easiest exercise. Dave, should I join Planet Fitness? No, not if you just want to walk. Where are you in your fitness? Just walk. Walking is easy. Dave, what about push-ups? Do a push-up. I hate them. I'll do them, but I hate them. I don't do them. I haven't done push-ups since that stupid 42 or 21 push-ups a day thing, because 21 veterans a day were committing suicide, which I still don't think is a true number. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be controversial. I still think, wow, 21 veterans or whatever it was a day are committing suicide? Really? We can't grab a hold of this? I just find that hard to believe. Anyway, this show isn't about that. I mean, not this particular episode, but this show is about that. Like, talking about pragmatism, truth, happiness, and the search for it all. So, my vacation. Yeah, I'm disappointed. Now, the vibration's coming back in the car, by the way. I don't know if you can hear it or whatever. Or can you feel it? Is this show in pod surround? I don't think so. I think it's a dumbcast, in a carcast, and a podcast, but I don't think we have dumb surround. So anyway, well, dumb surround's not really the right word. I think you are experiencing dumb surround. I don't think you're experiencing whatever it was that that movie Earthquake had. Sense around? Remember Sense around? Something like that. Anyway, so my vacation. Yeah, good enough. It's going to have to be good enough. I think I have another one in about a month. I hope I get a chance to capitalize. I really would like another week. I think if I started my second week today, I would have been rocking and rolling. But you know what? I've said that before. If I had just one more day off, I get things done. If I had just one more week of vacation, I get things done. If I just had $100 more, I get the next piece of equipment, or whatever it is. The third one isn't so true anymore, but I always feel like. And by the way, Jackie Mason, the comedian, for those of you who don't know, Jackie Mason. Hey, Jackie Mason. I'm Jackie Mason. A comedian that was blackballed from show business for a while. I think there's a story that they think he flipped. What's his name? Sullivan. Ed Sullivan. The famous, some of you who are old enough to remember Ed Sullivan. It's not Ed O'Sullivan, is it? It's Ed Sullivan? Anyway, the Ed Sullivan Show, yeah. Apparently there's a clip on YouTube, and there's a story that Jackie Mason turned to Ed Sullivan's side stage while Jackie Mason was performing and flipped Ed Sullivan the bird. You know what? Right now as I'm speaking, Ed Sullivan is not ringing a bell, and I think everybody's laughing at me and making a joke like, what a moron. It's not Ed Sullivan. It's Johnny Sullivan. It's Joe Sullivan. It's Sully Sullivan. I don't know. The Ed Sullivan Theater. That's where David Letterman did a show. No, it is Ed Sullivan. But for a while there, I was feeling quite paranoid. I'm rusty. I haven't done a podcast in 14 days. Forgive me, podcast father, for I have sinned. I have not done a podcast in 2 weeks. But I was on vacation, so that's okay. But so Jackie Mason was blackballed, I think, from show business for flipping Ed Sullivan the bird. And there's a clip on it. I don't know if you can actually see him do it. But anyway, so Jackie Mason does a bit in one of his routines saying Jewish people, guys like me, I'm Jewish, legally, but I don't practice it. I don't bang people over the head with my Judaism. I don't even bang myself over my head with my Judaism. Dave, is that what the yarmulkes are for? That's not funny. That was a very bad, insensitive joke on your part. You shouldn't have said it. No, the yarmulkes are there for some sort of other reason. I don't know. It's all symbolism, isn't it? Sort of, whatever. I talk about it, but I'm not a practicing one, and I don't think I ever will be, because I just don't think I have it in me to feel closer to that or any religion for that matter. I think I'm a lot closer to Christianity. And I do mention being a good Christian, acting in a Christian way. To me, that seems more appropriate. I'm close to that. I'll never wear a cross. I don't like kneeling at church. I don't even like going to church. Not to the churches I've been to. But anyway, Jackie Mason does a bit like Jewish men are always one more word out of him, I would have punched him. One more thing. If he pushed me one more time, I would have pushed back. One more. So Jews are always like one away. We're always one away from making a big stink about something. So yeah, if I just had one more day, if I just had one more week, that I would have gotten things done. And you know what? That's okay. It's going to have to be okay. First of all, I'm going to work. I think my next vacation might be in about a month. I think I picked all my vacations when my wife is on vacation. I'm not really sure. I'm sort of looking forward to it. So I'll have a second chance. I'll have, I think, 2 more chances this year to have a great vacation. But what is a great vacation? Well, I guess it all depends on what your goals are. We didn't go anywhere because of the COVID. So my goal was to take care of business, to clean up all my loose ends. Now the vibration in my car is totally gone. To clean up all my loose ends. Dave, what are your loose ends? Well, I have an issue with my cable company. I don't have cable in my bedroom. I have cable in my living room. That's a quick phone call. Not really a quick phone call, but boop, 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 boop. Hello, Spectrum. Hi, Spectrum. This is Dave Canyon. Here's my account number. How come I no longer have TV in my bedroom? I thought that I was supposed to have TV in both rooms. Dave, how long has that been going on? Several months. My wife and I have been putting up with it for several months. We have this other thing called Samsung Plus. So we do get TV in the room, but it's not the TV we should have. We should have Samsung Plus and Spectrum cable. So Dave, you just don't call? Yeah, I just don't call. I'm just living without TV in my room, but because I have Samsung Plus. I have all these funky channels I never heard of in my life. All right, whatever. Oh, I know. I have Netflix in my. I have everything but regular cable TV in my bedroom. We had it. We don't know why we don't have it now. Something happened. Whatever. Okay. What else? Finances. I'm supposed to speak with a financial advisor. I was supposed to make an appointment. My wife and I were supposed to go, but I never called him back. He's called me. I called him back saying, "Listen, man, I'm really sorry. We already had one meeting. We had one meeting that was like a generic meeting back in November of 2020." He said, "Hey, man, we're going to be busy for a little bit, so why don't we schedule something for 2021? I said, "Great." He called me several times. I called him back once. I said, "Hey, man, I'm not trying to ignore you. I do want to see you. I do want to get my finances in order. I preach it here on the show. Got to get my finances in order. Because why? Because I want to have money when I retire." When do you want to retire, Dave? Yesterday. Yesterday I want to retire. I got a list of things I want to do. Everything I'm doing is in preparation for that moment when I retire. Because I want to live as long as possible, as healthy as possible, and I want to have as much fun as possible. Yeah, maybe to 100, maybe to 110. Why, Dave? Well, because I've worked my whole life. My whole life has been either working or being in service for my parents. And I like to go in the opposite direction. And I'm going to be sharing with you things along the way of this podcast, what my retirement will look like, what I will be doing, why I will be doing it. And I think it's pretty exciting. I mean, it's everything from building a greenhouse in my backyard and growing vegetables and plants, having a green thumb, and to traveling, raising chickens maybe. Although I think that's a little bit more of a serious commitment than I'm kind of willing to do, because you got to be there for them chickens. So I would like to have chickens. I like for the eggs, not for the poultry, for the eggs. No cows, no goats, maybe. But you got to, listen. I want to be able to leave the house. If I can't leave the house because of the chickens, then I don't want it. Because ultimately, my retirement will all be about one word, and that would be about freedom. Freedom. I guess in my case, I should be calling it Freedumb. Freedom. The freedom to be dumb. Dumb all over the world. I want to drive the North America. I used to say the United States, but recently I've changed it. I updated it. I upgraded it. I haven't been mentioning on the show, but now I'm mentioning it now. My goal is to drive North America. And you know what? For that matter, if I could somehow drive South America, I'd like to drive South America. But I want to walk the earth. I want to walk the earth. And there's a lot of things I can do in order to make that happen. Ultimately, I can't be at this weight. I can't be in the 290s. Right now I'm in the 280s. I can't be in the 280s. I got to be in the 200s or less. Excuse me, whatever my resting bitch weight is. Whatever my resting bitch weight is. Does everybody know what that means? I didn't know what that meant until a couple years ago. Somebody said, "Oh yeah, this is my resting bitch face." A woman said that to me. I went, "Oh, that sounds horrible. I mean, why would you call yourself that?" She goes, No, you don't understand. It's what people say. When I'm not thinking about anything, when I'm lost in space, this is my face. It's my resting bitch face. I think that was the explanation. I went, "Oh, okay, whatever." And then, I don't know how long ago, I decided to call whatever weight I'm at my resting bitch weight. Well, 291 is just about my resting bitch weight. I'm about 10 pounds less than that right now. And I'm doing a lot of things, almost anything I can, other than pills and surgery, to lose more weight and to get more physically fit. Because for me, it's not really about the weight, even though I've just been talking about it. It's all about the health. It's all about the blood pressure. It's all about all those numbers that they talk about, and ultimately, blood sugar and cholesterol and all that stuff, which I don't have problems with anything, by the way. Every physical I take from my real doctor, Dr. Mandelbaum, every physical I take, every blood test I take at Health Quest or wherever, every blood sample reveals excellent numbers. All my numbers are always excellent, except for one thing. According to Dr. Mandelbaum, my weight. I'm too heavy. It's almost a miracle, he says, that I am at the health I'm at, considering my weight and for how long I've been carrying this weight. And I do know I have a little bit of a back issue. I'm not in pain right now. I was in a little bit of pain in the shower this morning. I think it does get in the way of good sleep. My obesity, my weight and my obesity. I think it's two different things. I think the weight is how heavy I am in the bed, sinking the bed down, 280 pounds pushing down. And then, while I'm laying on my side, how it sits. I think the obesity is also my size. In other words, the uncomfortableness of obesity. I'm putting it into two different categories. The weight is physical. It's very physical. It's like I weigh this much. I'd be much more comfortable at 200 because I wouldn't be putting down as much pressure on the bed, and the bed would last longer, and the bed would be, I don't know if I have the right bed. I like a little bit of a harder bed, not a softer bed. I don't know if we got the right bed, I don't know how many years ago. I think we also might be at the end of our bed life. But my wife and I don't even really remember when we bought this bed. So we think it might be 4 years ago, it might be 7 years ago. What is the life of a bed? I don't know. So, that's on the agenda, health and fitness, and I need to do more Dave's Fit Life. I haven't been doing that. Definitely an F on Dave's Fit Life this vacation. Why did I do all these walks and all these things? I did a lot of stuff, but I didn't put any of it on Dave's Fit Life. Snowstorms, none of it on Days Fit Life. I went to the river, the Hudson River, many times. Oh no, I posted. Nah, I didn't. I put it on Facebook. Go to the Days Fit Life Facebook group, and you will see some videos that I posted. Mostly of a Coast Guard boat breaking the ice on the Hudson River. You'll see some nice shots of the Hudson River. Part of the issue of when I do Days Fit Life is if I'm with my wife, I like to be with my wife. And my wife likes me to be with her. She's not so much a fan of me doing other things that when I'm with her. And I don't really like that. And then at the same time, I don't really dislike that. It's not a power play. It's nothing like, pay attention to me, pay attention. It's nothing like that. It has to do with the fact that, hey, we don't have that much time together. So when we're together, can we be together? And I say the same thing to her. Can you shut off your phone? Because her phone's dinging all day long. And a lot of it is very important phone calls for her job. I say important because I don't really know what's going on. I know that there's a lot going on with her job. A lot. As a teacher, there's a lot. COVID, fourth graders, school systems. There's just a lot. Other teachers, principals, assistant principals, heads of departments. For anybody who thinks that teaching, well, just go watch the movie Mr. Holland's Opus with Richard Dreyfuss. If you think teaching is 8 to 3:30, you're mistaken. According to my wife and what I've seen over the last couple of years, teaching is almost 24/7. It's probably more like 18/7, maybe 16/7, maybe 16/6, hours a day and days a week. It's definitely not 8 to 3. There's very little walking away from your job and enjoying your free time. Maybe when my wife has more seniority, or maybe when she has more experience, or maybe when the COVID goes away. I don't really know. All I know is that right now, it's very, very consuming. So, vacation ultimately was good enough. I'm going to have to say, overall, I'm going to give myself a C minus. A C minus I'm going to give myself.
Time is running out.
Yes.
Don't go over.
Okay.
It disrupts everything.
I know that. I know.
How much time do you have left?
A little bit less than 3
Are
minutes.
you wearing your glasses?
No, I'm not. But I think I'm good today. Thank you, David. I appreciate that. I think that was David. So anyway, what could I have done differently? Dave, if you had to go back 10 days ago, 11 days ago, what could you have done differently? Well, not much, because I'd still be me. I would like to have had more productive vacations before this vacation, so I would have had less to do this vacation, or I would have been more prepared. I'm building on a foundation of out of control. I definitely have learned that in the last 10 days. And I'm going to share with you in the following episodes how I came to find that out. Because I think it's an interesting experience that I'm experiencing, and I want to share it with you. I'm just not going to do it with 2 minutes to go. But I have come to the realization that for as long as I can remember, really, and I've done a lot of thinking on this, going back to when I was 6 years old, and probably before that, because my parents taught me how to do this, is that I've been out of control. Out of control. But Dave, when I think of out of control, I think of, Rip Taylor when he makes his entrance onto the Gong Show, for those of you who remember Rip Taylor. Or, anybody that would be referred to as a gonzo or bonzo or a bobo or a clown or, a Jim Carrey or the other guy with the... anyway, the guy who puts the thing on his head. He's a Howie Mandel. Oh, look at that. I'm remembering. That's a good sign. That's a good sign that I was able to think about something and come up with a name. Those guys are out of control. But you know what? As out of control they are, they're in control. They know what they're doing. Or, it doesn't matter. They've been doing it for so long. They're successful. Robin Williams, out of control. That's what they think about when you think of out of control. Or you think of a drug addict, which I am in a way. I am addicted. I'm addicted to many things. And I have to take care of those addictions. And I will share that with you as time goes on.
If you are enjoying these shows, please like and subscribe. Also, share them with your social media. Feel free to comment in the Spreaker chat box or call the dumb line at 347-746-3862.
I forgot about
Please
that.
keep your messages to 60 seconds or less and keep them clean, no profanity. Keep listening and engage. Do it because I ask you to. This is the Raven out.